wanna do. She do what she wanna do. Ooh. She do what she wanna do.
She do what she wanna do. Lower to the grave, tell you like it is to your face. She don't play. Every chick down for it all, know that she a boss. No competition, no loss. From the Midwest to the A, Autumn got you tuning in, no delay. Ooh, get you right every time. Keep you laughing on a dime. Tell you truth, no lies. So you can live your best life. Cover all topics, no limits. Got some for your mama and your children, no holding back. No gimmicks, coming on strong, get straight to business. Oh yeah.
Do what she wanna do.
Live life, live life,
She
live
do
life.
what she wanna do.
Live life, live life,
She
live
do what
life.
she wanna do.
Live life, live life,
She
live
do what
life.
she wanna do.
Live life, live life, live life. Live life, live life.
Hey, it's your girl Autumn, and I welcome you back to the Lit Life podcast, where I encourage you to live your life autonomously. So first, let me just say real quick, I'm recording this. Wait, it's season 3. I'm gonna start there. If you're watching this, because there should be video at this point. Because I've been messing around. Like, I've had this camera for 3 weeks now, and I still don't know how to use it. So if you're watching it and it's like going in and out of that autofocus, it's because I think I turned it off at one point in time and it wasn't doing what I needed it to do. So now it's back on and it's just doing whatever. But anyways, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. Y'all just gonna have to get this video the way that it is, because I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of everything that I've been dealing with. As you can see, I have a special guest in the studio. Well, not really in the studio, but in her studio in Texas. So let's welcome my homegirl, J Bug for show, from the Jay's Quick 3 podcast. Yay.
What's up? What's up?
Wait, do I have an applause button on here? I think I do. Let me see.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that ain't it. There we go.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you welcome, girl. So what's going on? What is going? You just had a birthday that passed, first of all. So happy birthday!
Thank you. Yes.
How you feeling about that?
I'm feeling all right. I'm blessed to just be here, but COVID won't let us be great. So neither one of us got to do what we were planning to do on our birthdays. So, I'm just taking it as it is. And, I had 2 of my best friends come over and cook for me and made me drinks all night. And we were it was funny because we were social distancing while still doing this at my house. It was funny, but yeah, so that was pretty cool to do that. Normally we'll be out doing the same thing, just spending money. So honestly, it was cool because my friend Miguel can cook. He used to have a food truck, so I love his food. So he was just chefing it up in the kitchen and then making us drinks. And me and my best friend Jeremy were just watching. I don't even know I don't really remember, but it was fun.
I remember a little bit, but I'm gonna keep
You remember
to myself.
Keep that. Yes, please do that.
Myself. So just a little bit of background before I didn't cut you off already, but just a little bit of background. Like Jay and I met on Twitter, which is clearly where I meet everybody these days. Like I guess that's just the meeting place. But I think it was through like what was it, like some sort of follow train thread?
Yeah, some kind of Black podcasters thread or something.
Yeah. So if you know anything about me and Twitter, I'm always tagging folks to like those threads. I know they be like, God, please don't tag me to nothing else. But it's just for the exposure or whatever. And but that's how we ended up linking. And from that particular like follow tree, it's like we ended up following. I know I did. I follow so many people off of that tree, and I have made some really, cool, what you want to call them, Twitter ships. I don't know,
something. Yeah,
podcast connections. Yeah, off of that thread. So Jay and I have been getting to annoy each other over the past few weeks or whatever. So we just been like kicking it and hanging out. I'm like, I was on her show. I was like, I got to get her on my show, when everything ramps back up. So thanks for being here. So, what else has been up though? So COVID got us in the house still.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in Texas.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on in Texas with the Rona.
So, this might kind of overlap into what I want to talk about for my award, but Texas is going crazy because we have a governor who I guess is scared of the people that want to get their mullets cut and stuff like that. So he opened up the state too early, in my opinion.
They got mullets, no wait.
I mean,
That's
they were trying to get in there. I didn't see people that look like me. I'm just saying.
All right. The hill
where I live. But yeah, so I guess he felt pressure and just decided to stop listening to the scientists and doctors, and he opened up too quickly. And now COVID is like the highest it's ever been. And it's a mess. And just today, I mean, we've been having protests, not we, because I haven't been involved in that. They've been having protests because they don't want to wear masks. They've been having protests because they want to open stuff back up after we just hit like a record before today, which I'll get into later. But before today, we had a record of hitting over 5,000 for like a week straight. But people are complaining because now he's decided to like cut back a little bit. And I think I don't know if he closed all the bars. To be honest, I don't even watch him anymore. I don't I stay in my house, I work, and then that's it. Luckily, I'm on vacation this week, but it's crazy.
I see. So, I mean, same here. Same here. Y'all was laughing at me last night when I said I had a spreadsheet, but I decided to start tweeting out stats every day because honestly, I don't see them no more. Mm-hmm. Maybe from one news outlet, I see them, and that's maybe once a day if I'm on Twitter at that time. But aside from that, I don't see the stats anymore. So, but what I do see is a lot of people doing a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe if more people are I don't even want to say more people are aware because how do you not fucking know at this point? But even still, it's just like maybe if they see it from me, or maybe if they see it from somebody familiar or something like that, that they'll understand how serious this is, right? So I've been tweeting it out, and we're at, let's see, the past 7 days, I think today when I tweeted it out, over the past 7 days, we had like 13,000 cases. So I'm still afraid. Mm-hmm. Like, I would really like to go home and hug my son and my mom and my sister, but I'm so afraid. Like, I'm so afraid to travel, and I don't want to be afraid, but because that's not in my nature at all to just be out here scared to do something. But like, it's whack. So that's very whack. That is very whack.
Crazy out there with all this stuff.
So I know you mentioned a little bit about the protests or whatever, but they protest, but as far as our protests in Texas, are you still hearing that you guys are still out there protesting, like literally on the, in the streets protesting? Or
I think the media is not covering it as much, which I feel like is like with everything else, like they hop on the next train or whatever is the hot topic. But I guess locally, there are still some small protests happening, and then they'll show like different, like little rural cities that are actually having Black Lives Matter protests, which there's no Black people that live there, which is pretty cool to see. In my little city, which I didn't look up what the Black population is, it's not huge, but they had like this big Juneteenth celebration here, which was shocking to me. But there's different things that's going on that it's just not as huge of a movement. But I also think because there's other protesters out there with like the mask and the open the bars and open these things, that is kind of overpowering like the message of the people that's still out there, because there are still people out there still protesting to this day. So they're all in front of the police stations, and that's mainly where they've been, downtown, right in front of the police department. So yeah, they're still out there, but it's just not as prominent, I guess.
Yeah. So same here in Georgia. I find it funny that I think I just saw today or yesterday that it's like they're using every single resource that they have to catch the person that burned down the damn Wendy's. Why am I seeing this more than anything else, that you're looking for the suspects that burned that stupid ass Wendy's down? Like, right. It's not, I'm not understanding. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Why is this the main news when there's still people, we're still dying. We still can't breathe. I mean, there's still so much shit going on, and all y'all want to talk about is the fact that Wendy's burned down, when in fact Wendy's don't even have good pickles on their burgers no more. So I cannot really care. Now will I get a Frosty? Yes, but I don't care. I don't care about I've said it like 80,000 times. I don't care. They could burn all this shit down. I don't care. So
the one thing I think is, I mean, I don't know if it's like a cover up, which it probably is, but there's a county on the other side of Austin, Williamson County, I think is what it's called. We call it Wilco, but we know most of the people around this area in Texas know that Wilco is super racist and their cops are like out of control. Well, there was a story a while back of, I can't get the guy's name. I could probably look it up in a second, but you know, the show Live PD.
Yeah.
So they're filming with Wilco Police Department. Well, Wilco killed somebody. They tased the man too many times and used all this, you know, extra force, and he ended up dying. They have this on film. So the court and somebody else, DA or whoever it is, have been fighting each other with the Wilco Police Department and Live PD to get them to release this video, which they haven't yet. So that was a story probably a couple of weeks ago that sparked some protests on that side, because this happened, I think, earlier this year when the guy died. So, I mean, it's always something going on. And the fact that they have this video where they know what happened, camera crews were there when it happened, and somebody don't want to release the video. So it's just like the police department is saying, well, they never asked us for it, which is stupid. And then whoever is in charge of it is saying, well, here's the letter where I asked for it a long time ago. So they're just going back and forth. Meanwhile, the family's like, well, can we get some answers? Because if y'all have what happened, and obviously nothing has happened to any of these officers, then we need answers. So, I mean, it's been little buzzing about that, but I don't feel like it's getting the attention that it needs because of everything else that's going on. So,
right. Just like with anything else, it's real stupid. And have you guys voted yet in your state? Like, has your state done?
There's a runoff. There's voting this week. Well, early voting is this week. The voting day is the 14th, I think. So what is that next? Maybe next? No, not next Tuesday.
Next.
Yeah. So they're doing early voting now. So I'm going to go tomorrow. I meant to go today, but I couldn't get up to go anywhere.
Do you think that there's going to be problems? Because I know you've heard about the problems that's been going on, like Georgia. The lines were so long. I was able to walk in and out, but it's probably just because of the area I live in.
Right. I've heard about that. I think there's voter suppression everywhere. I just don't know where I live. Austin, like the metro cities are all blue cities, and they're pretty liberal. So I don't necessarily hear about those things. Now, if you go to like some of the smaller towns in Texas, I don't know if they will have those same issues because, the rest of that is red, and how they have like, what do they call it? Is it red line? Whatever, how they redistrict everything, and they're shutting some polls down and things like that. So I don't know about that if this happened. I haven't really heard too much about Texas having those issues, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully everybody can go and early vote. I know we have, we're able to mail our ballots in. I saw that on the website today when I was checking just to see what they had, if they had any restrictions for COVID or whatever. So we're able to mail our stuff in if we have to, if we don't want to go out because of COVID. So hopefully people are taking advantage of that and getting their stuff in, and we make it difficult for them to make it difficult for us to go vote.
Yeah, I think we were able to mail in too, but I just didn't. Yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna just go on up here. If I have to stand in a line, then
I'm going.
I'll take my work phone, and like the polling place I go to is literally like less than a mile from here. So, I was like, I just going on there, and if I gotta be sending, y'all just gonna get these tweets. Like I'm just gonna be out here. Just gonna be out here. So but anyway, so let's go ahead and go into the Shut the Fuck Up Award. Shut the fuck up. God damn, nigga. I need to find the whole song. Somebody needs to tell me what the whole song is, and I need to literally sit and listen to the whole song. But anyways, the guest goes first.
Okay, so I got a couple, maybe a few, but we'll see how it goes. I kind of already talked about it. So my Shut the Fuck Up Award goes to Greg Abbott, who is my governor, or the governor of Texas. I keep trying to vote him out, but it doesn't work. But I can't put into words how frustrating he is, because when COVID first hit, he was doing all this talk about, Texas is ready. We have all this money. We're going to fight this. And it's not going to, if it does come here, it's not going to be a big deal. And we have so many hospitals and hospital beds and resources, and I'm doing this and I'm shutting this down and all this stuff. So he was pretty quick to start shutting things down, which I was like, oh, okay, he has some sense. This is cool. Right. Well, that lasted for, I don't know, a few weeks. And then, like I said, the protest, I don't know who it was. It probably, because he's so up 45's ass all the time, he probably didn't want to be on his bad side. So he decided to start these phases of opening up our state. And, we talked about this on my show. So I know it was around like May. Everything that we said was going to happen happened. So people need to go back and listen to that. But he started this phase. Okay, we're going to do 75%. We're going to open restaurants 75% capacity, and all the retail stores could be open. But they had to be to go, which to go meant curbside. So that's already pissing me off, because why don't you just say curbside service instead of to go? To go, right. No stores do to go. That's not, what kind of language is that? Anyway, so it was just irritating to me. So he did that. And he said, okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to stay with these doctors. I'm going to, stay with the scientists, and I'm not going to make any moves unless, they tell me it's okay. So I'm like, cool. All right. We're doing this, so this is cool. I tried the curbside service. Everything was good. Okay, maybe we can do this. He waited. It wasn't even it was a full week. And then he's like, okay, well, we're going to phase 2. We're going to open up 50%, and all the stores can be open. The malls can be open. The parks can be open, and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, are you not going to wait and see what the results are? Because we already know it takes maybe 2 weeks within that time to see anybody have symptoms or get sick from this. So why is it just a week? And, obviously you're not going to see a bunch of spikes during that time. And then you go to 50%. And so he does that, goes to 50%.
It's almost like he playing everybody like they stupid. Like we don't know math, but all right.
But I'm saying, if I know this, I'm not the governor. How come you don't know this? Like you watch the same thing that I watch, but regardless. Anyway, so he just continues to do this, opens it up. I think he got to 75%. So just like I said, it went from, I think I was telling you, our highest at that time was 1,200 cases.
In
And
a
then
week period or in a
a
day?
day,
Okay.
a day, like the highest peak, because he got on TV and said, we've already reached our peak, because I think we were down to like 400 or something. And Texas is pretty big. I think I said it's 28 million or something in Texas. So when you look at the bigger picture, maybe that, 400 is good if it's trending down, but you have to give it time to like level out before you start making these moves. So here we go. It goes to 400, it goes back up to 1,200. Then we hit 1,400 in a day. So now we beat our biggest peak. He's still just, he's in a wheelchair. So I don't want to say anything negative. So let me just not.
I didn't mean to laugh, but
he gets on TV and he's just like, we can do this still. Like Texas has got this. Even if everyone gets sick, we have enough hospitals. So boom, 5,000 a day, 7 days in a row, 5,000. Do you know where we were yesterday?
No.
6,200 and something. So we just beat our whole record of that. Now our hospitals are running out of beds, just like we knew
before.
We would.
Yeah.
Houston has a huge medical community. It's world renowned. Like a lot of people come there for cancer treatments. They have like a huge Texas or kids or children's hospital there. So the children's hospital now has to start taking other patients because all the other hospitals are full of COVID patients. So it's stuff like that that's going on. And now he has the nerve to get on TV and say it's the young people. Oh, it's because, when we opened the bars, people didn't take it serious. Duh. Like, what do you mean people didn't take it serious?
What did you open them for?
Right. What did you think people were going to do? They were already complaining because they couldn't get their damn beehive sprayed with Aquanet or whatever. So, I mean, what did you think they were going to do? They want to have their beers and do whatever. You open these bars and then look where we are now. He's blaming the young people. So him, that's one. His little buddy, our lieutenant governor, Dan Patrick, can shut the hell up because he's just stupid as hell. He just doesn't need to talk. He's on Fox News every other day. He's the one that said, like, let all the old people or senior citizens sacrifice themselves to get the disease so we can open the economy. Now he's doing the same thing, saying, well, we don't need to listen to Dr. Fauci, who's he doesn't work for the White House, but he's like on that task force.
Yeah.
We don't need to listen to
it or something.
Yeah, we don't need to listen to him because he doesn't know what he's talking about. So I just think if the young people wouldn't go out and wouldn't do this, we'll be okay. But it ain't no damn young people out here protesting that they don't want to wear masks. It's these middle-aged Karens and Kens and whoever else is out there doing this stupid stuff. So he can go away. I've also tried to vote him out. I've already had issues with him. I've sent him letters. We went back and forth before on certain issues. Like he tried to bring the bathroom bill here and get that passed. So, I wrote my letters.
Which bathroom bill?
About the transgender, like they
make it like so that everybody can use the same bathroom, right? Or
to make it so you have to go to the restroom where if you were born a certain gender on your ID or whatever shows on your ID, you have to go there, no matter if you've transitioned or not. So I wrote him about that because he was speaking on behalf of women, saying that women don't feel safe. And I wrote him as a woman, I would feel safe if you've had people that don't need to be in here. So if a trans man wants to go use the men's restroom, but you're making him go to the women's restroom, like, what I'm saying? He doesn't feel safe at this point. Or a trans woman doesn't feel safe going into a men's restroom just because of that. And how are you supposed to police that? Like, are you checking? Like, what? I don't understand.
Like, do you do we have to like scan our eyes when we walk in the bathroom, like to say if we're born, if we, that's
so we went back and forth for a while. Then I just stopped, like, because he was emailing or sending out, we were emailing back and forth or whatever. Or maybe I was talking to his assistant. I don't know, whatever. So I'm tired of him. I'm tired of these people that are protesting, not wearing masks and opening up everything. Y'all can all shut up because
every last one of y'all.
If you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. But guess what? You can't shop. Like, you want to have, use your right to not wear a mask. So these companies have the right to not serve you.
Right.
Like, what? I don't understand that. So you're mad because you're saying they're infringing on your rights, but you're infringing on my right to not die from COVID because you don't want to wear a mask. It's pretty simple. Like, these people are okay with people with the stores that say no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Right.
They're okay with places saying like you can't wear saggy pants or hoodies. They're okay if they say that you can't wear this type of clothing, you can't wear beanies and all that other stuff. They're fine with that. But when you say you have to wear a mask, then they want to fight for their rights. That just is stupid.
It's the dumbest shit I've ever, like, I cannot believe how dumb people are right now. I can't, can I? No, I can't.
White people want to be oppressed. They're just mad
really
because there's no attention on them. And the attention that is on them is negative. And so they want to be the victims some way, somehow. So if that means they have to fight because they want to wear masks, that's what they're doing.
Right.
It's just, I saw this.
What about me? What about us? What about what we have to put up with? Bitch, what do you have to put up with? What is it?
And they're making this. You're making something up just to become a victim. But look, I saw this meme, and I don't know if it was on IG or Twitter or something like that, but it said, how did it go? If there was a medicine that they released that said that it would decrease your chances of catching COVID by 50%, everybody would be in line to go get that, because people are already trying to chug bleach and hand sanitizer and stuff like that. That might work. But so if someone said there was a medication for that, people will be running to do that. Well, guess what? Masks do that. Like, if two people are wearing masks, if me and you are together and we're wearing masks, we just decreased our chance of spreading it at least by 50%.
At least, because I think it's more than that, they say.
Yeah, sometimes higher. So why are you fighting this? I don't get it. You're just causing more issues. And then they want to say that the reason everything is spiking is because of Black Lives Matter rallies. And the thing is, it's not spiking all over the US. And there were rallies all over the US. There were protests all over the US. Where it's spiking is where we have these dumbass governors that just want to, I guess, be a part of 45's crew. And they're just not, like Florida. I heard he's not even shutting anything down. He's like, oh, well, this is just how it's going.
And they might as well just, I feel like everybody's just going to drop dead, unfortunately. Like, it's so bad. It's
crazy
bad in Florida. It's so bad. Like, I would be, if I lived there, listen, I wouldn't leave the house. There's no way. And I'm close enough to Florida to where it still scares me.
Right.
I'm like, what, maybe 3-4 hours from the border? Like, I don't want any of them here.
Right.
Because it's scary. And then now you have state like New York, they said, hey, if you're coming from these states, you have to self-quarantine. So what's the point in even going to New York? Like, you see, there's no point in even traveling.
Right. It's just crazy. I was talking to my friend who is in Michigan, which is where I'm from. But she was telling me like how her governor was like fighting 45. They didn't open up. They weren't doing all this stuff. And not that they don't have cases, but they're nowhere near some of these other places. Because she was like, how is everything going down there? And I was telling her, she was like, well, girl, we're good up here.
I said the same thing about my home state. I was like, they're doing it right. Like, they're actually doing something right in Ohio. Like they didn't open up. I feel like they still are not like 100% open. But yeah, it was just like they did what they had to do to try to get it under control, and they were on lockdown for a way long. I think Georgia was on lockdown, like a full lockdown for like maybe 2.5 weeks, 3. And other places were just locked down for months. So, anyways,
yeah. So they can all. Charlemagne the God says, "Shut the f up forever." Forever. And I'm not going to do it. Go ahead. I'm going to watch my mouth.
Well, I'm not, because I had a potty mouth. This is my show, and I'm going to be fucking cussing. So, I've been trying really hard to. I never like to see I never like to see the dragging of a black man, like ever. You know what I mean? Like it makes me cringe, even when they deserve it. Like, because I've done it. You know what I'm saying? I've dragged one of us before, but I hate to see it. And sometimes, like, if it happens once, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm not a part of cancel culture. Okay, like you really have to, like, some shit really has to be. It really has to hit me a certain way for me to just cancel you, right?
Right.
So all these tweets that Terry Crews have been setting off, I always try to see the other person's point of view. I can't now. Granted, I can't remember none of the tweets that he tweeted before, but I just remember it was a whole bunch of them that was fucked up, right? But I was trying so hard to be like, you know, even with, I was trying so hard to just hope that he really was trying to make a decent point and it didn't come out right. So then yesterday, he tweeted out, "If you are a child of God, you are my brother and sister. I have family of every race, creed, and ideology. We must ensure," this the part, y'all. This the part. I mean, because the rest of it was fucked up too, but this the part. "We must ensure Black Lives Matter doesn't morph into Black Lives Better." So first and foremost, I'm gonna make this one special because it's time.
Oh Jesus!
It's time. So shout out to Jay. Shout out to I can't even put it on right because I got these earphones on. Shout out to Jay Book for donating to the Live Life podcast. I've been waiting to bring this one out. I can't even get it on right, so it's just gonna be crooked. So I wanted to put my Kente hat on because I wanted to tell Terry Crews to shut the fuck up. Okay, you, sir, need to shut the fuck up. What the fuck are you talking about? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? I mean, he literally created a hashtag that says Black Lives Better. Did you really do this? Did you really do this? Is this what you did? So I think this was yesterday. Yeah, because it was the same day that it happened. I'm going through Twitter, and you know, everybody lighting him up. He getting lit the fuck up. But then I come across the tweet with Royce 5'9". Did you see what he said? Or hear?
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
All right, so I'm gonna play the clip.
Okay.
Hopefully I pushed the right button, y'all, because y'all know. Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, because I was about to print. So here's what Royce said. I'm gonna keep my hat on for this.
Some people have nothing to offer without marketing dollars. And the shit that I want to talk about is Terry Crews. If you want to look at something, look at Terry Crews. Now, Terry Crews is delusional, but I think that the way that he thinks he should be put in a laboratory and hooked up to machines and observed by scientists, and like his thought process and the words that he uses should be like studied and used in dissertations at Ivy League schools, because he is the exact result of what you get from the construct that is white supremacy. The very way that he fucking thinks. You hear this nigga? Like, bro, Terry Crews, I don't want to be disrespectful. You know, I don't, you know, like I'm a rapper, so I know y'all think that we just run around disrespecting people. I'm working on that. It's not about respect. This is right or wrong. And I think I speak for the culture when I say we don't look to you to speak to us, speak for us. We never have. We've never depended on you for that. So you could take that off your shoulders. The only thing we have a problem with is when you step up and try to speak for us and you're not speaking for us because
Hold on. It's a part 2. Hold on.
in front of the camera is this successful nigga. You a nigga from Flint. You doing all right. You a nigga from Flint. What have you done for Flint? What have you done for our culture? Talking about weed, what we're trying to do. You're not trying to do anything. You haven't made any change. We're changing shit. We're shaking up the fucking globe, being the opposite of what you are. We don't need your fucking help. Okay?
Facts.
You come from Flint. Y'all don't even have fucking water. I ain't even heard you say nothing about the water.
Not one tweet.
You talk about having a white wife and you talk about your fucking disagreements with black people more than you talk about anything. And that is what's going to go down in history as it pertains to your legacy.
Facts.
You don't do shit classic, nigga. It ain't no fucking... You think you go from where you are to where Will Smith is at? Will Smith is one of our greats. He's fucking brilliant. You just okay, nigga. J. Cole is one of our greats. He's fucking
Lit
brilliant.
his ass up.
We can question him. We don't question you. We just wondering what the fuck you in the way for. You don't claim us. You don't have to claim us. We don't claim you. And we can leave it at that.
Lit his ass on fire.
On fire. And it was deserved.
First of all, let me take this off before I say this, because now I'm about to say something ignorant. Royce looking good in the motherfucker, boy. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yes. I was like, okay, here we go.
Good. Like, I had to watch that video a couple of times. Like, I don't remember him looking this.
I was saying the same thing. I was like, I don't remember him looking like that ever.
Snackable. Like, let's go. But anyway, so yeah, so I can't say any more. I can't say it any better than what Royce did, because Royce really lit his ass up. Like, he really will go on and on and on and on about this wife he has, which, okay, great. But why does it always seem like you have to talk down on us and the movements that we're doing? Like, just like he said, you're just another nigga. Like, the same exact thing that has happened to anybody else within this movement can happen to you. Right. Why don't you see that? What is it about it that you don't see? Because you got a couple of dollars, you got a few coins, you think you're exempt?
Terry seems to be always on the wrong side of what's going on. Like, I don't know if I was reading a tweet, someone just said that like pretty much what he said, like, this is exactly what white supremacy, this is a product of that. When somehow you find fault in everything that we're doing. Like, no one said anything about Black lives being better. Like, that was the whole narrative we're trying to get away from, because people feel like Black Lives Matter meant like Black lives only or Black lives are better. That's the narrative we're trying to get away from, that we just meant Black lives matter also. Black lives matter too. Like, if we're in the United States, we're supposed to get all these liberties that all Americans are supposed to get, then we need to get those also, not just everybody that's not Black or brown. So for him to push that narrative, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
Bro, you are just, if something happened at that man's house today where the police was called, it could have been anything, not even a domestic dispute between him and his wife or anything. If they feel like they need to take somebody to jail, it's going to be his ass.
If they don't kill him.
One or the other.
Because he's just another Black nigger to them. It don't matter. And he got muscles and he's that big.
Yes.
They're wrestling down 14-year-olds and shooting them and doing all this stuff to them. He thinks they're not going to like tackle him and do the same thing because he works for NBC. They don't care about that.
Because you'd have made a movie or two, nigga. Like, bro, you understand that they do not care. It's probably people out there waiting to kill somebody like you just because you're with a white woman.
Right.
So I ain't about to go into all of that. So that's my shut the fuck up award. So what we gonna do? We had a pretty heavy first half. So what we gonna do? We gonna take a little break. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about music, y'all. Like
Hey.
one of my first loves. I know that Jay loves music. So we about to talk about some music. All right, so we'll be right back. All right, we back. I am back with my special guest, Jay from Jay's Quick 3. So first and foremost, because you know I always have some sort of trash announcement before we go into the topic. So it looked like I might have fixed my camera, but on the other side, I'm gonna just let y'all know that it said the battery was at 19%. So I'll probably be switching to the the camera on my laptop. I'm just putting it out there, but y'all gonna get this video because it's just been too much. So I think I even look different now. Like it's just everything's weird, but whatever. We gonna keep it moving. So I was listening to the podcast, of course. I started listening to your podcast a few months ago, like you know when we first started interacting, and fell in love with it. And there was one episode, I want to say maybe it was just, I don't know if it was recently, but whenever it was that you talked about how you love neo soul. And I was like,
it was the Erykah Badu, the Versus one I did.
First one, okay.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and so I was like, I know that. Like, that's what's up. I too love neo soul.
Hey.
I mean, like it's such a big deal, but I kind of wanted to talk about neo soul and how it's kind of how there's such a thin line between neo soul and R&B. So I want to know. You said you love neo soul, so to you, what is neo soul and what makes it so great? Like, what do you love about it?
So I consider like neo soul to be, well, neo usually means new. Soul, obviously we know what that is. So I feel like it was just the new school of artists that were coming out in, at least in my little time frame, like the late night, well, like mid 90s to the early like 2000s. It was just a new wave of soul music coming back. I don't know, every certain time frame, there's a different genre that is like prominent. So like rock will be up one time during a certain time and pop will be out. And during this time, R&B was just starting to become mainstream. And so it was allowing these artists to like kind of usher themselves in on the soul side. So it wasn't early 90s. We had a lot of hip hop mixed with R&B, like with the whole Uptown movement and stuff like that. Jodeci and Andre Harrell and Puffy and all of them had all these artists coming up, Mary J. Blige, which is cool, which I loved also. But then you had the Jill Scotts and the Erykah Badu start coming in where it was just, I called it like a coffee shop type of vibe. So you're just like, and people like Google what coffee shop is, kind of just like some, I wouldn't say dark, but it's just a mellow spot. Most of the time they're playing jazz. You have a lot of people doing
very
spoken
soft
word. Yeah. And it's a lot of live instruments, a lot of live vocals, and it's just a chill place. And most of the people, when they're done, they're snapping their fingers and stuff like that. So that's the vibe that I feel like neo soul is, at least to me.
Okay. So also, and I meant to ask this before I even got started. So do you have like some sort of, because clearly you just really spoke some shit. I know neo meant new, but I never looked at it as new soul. I'll tell you how I feel about it in a minute. But do you have like any sort of background in music? Or I know you love music, but like where does this love come from? Like what?
No, it's just music is like the soundtrack of my life. Like I have memories. It's so funny, and I don't know if this sounds weird, but I remember stuff through songs.
I do too.
Like I'll remember like Denise, Let's Hear It for the Boy. I had a crush on some boy, and I remember in whatever I think I was in Alabama for the summer at one of my like great aunt's house or whatever like that. But it was some boy that lived down the street. And I just remember hearing that song and then seeing him as like a movie. And I'm like, yes, I remember that point in time. Or I remember Whitney Houston, like The Bodyguard and I Will Always Love You is around when my grandmother passed away. And so that is like, set in for me. So every kind of song means something different in a certain memory for me. So I don't know. I just always connected with music in that way. And it's just something like what I say, neo soul is like food for your soul. That's why it's called soul music. So that's why I guess I resonate with it so much. But I'm not an artist. I try to be in my head. Like right, writing song. Like I've written songs before, and like my friends, two of my best friends are first cousins, and they have my best friend's sister and their other first cousin had a group called what was it called? Girls on the Move. They were going to get signed. And so I was like, well, if y'all are going to get signed, I need to be in there somewhere. You know, I can't sing, but let me write some raps to their songs. I would like write raps to their songs and like write verses and stuff like that, just so I can be a part of and like make my own demo tapes and stuff like that. But I've tried to play instruments, anything I can do. I just always felt like I needed to be connected to music in some way. And maybe if I didn't have the skill, I was just going to fake it until I made it. So,
I feel you. Like, I feel you on every single thing you just said, because like, first of all, when I figured out that I really couldn't sing, like I was devastated. You know what I'm saying? Like I could carry a tune, I could hold a melody, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I can't sing, right. But I was like devastated. But me too, like I played the violin for 7 years. Actually, I could play the viola, viola, and I can play a little bit of cello. I mean, you know, if you could play one, you pretty much play them all.
Right.
But I wanted to learn the clarinet, the flute. My music teacher in high school, like he literally, and now I think about it, it's pretty fucked up that he would say this, but he was just like, he's like, no, I can't have you in 2 classes. And I think about it, I'm like, really? You got other people in 2 classes? Like almost like he just couldn't take me in 2 classes. But anyway, so yes, I've played instruments. The other thing too, like in regards to music, it's dancing. So I love to dance. I was in a group. You know what I'm saying? Anytime me and my girls went to anywhere, we had a step to do. We had to do the whole thing. And then like one of my boyfriends growing up, like he was literally my boyfriend in 2nd grade. Shout out to Travaris. Like he was my boyfriend in 2nd grade. But he had a group, him and his brother Pooh and his cousin, 2 of his cousins. They had a group called Adolescents, and they could actually sing. And they would sing, sing all the songs. We was like, me and my friends, we was like the backup dancers. You know what I'm saying? Like I just have. He sang. Their group sang "Shy." Remember the group Shy? "Baby, I'm Yours." Like had me thinking he wrote the song for me until I actually like heard it. Like it was all bad. But anyways, over the years, like it was just crazy. But so I have that same connection to music. Of course, like I literally can remember driving down Secor Road past the University of Toledo when I first heard Guess Who Loves You More by Raheem DeVaughn, of course. Like I remember that exact moment when I heard that song. So I get it. So anyway, so back to the whole neo soul thing. I always felt like I felt like it was R&B, but it was just so like a breath of fresh air. Like if you listen to some of the speaking pieces that Jill Scott does, it's just like you explained it, like that whole coffee shop vibe. Like, you want to snap your fingers. It's just so mellow. Like, everybody smoking weed, it seemed like. It's just like, it's just real chill. Whereas like R&B, I immediately think of people like Casey, like somebody that's gonna sing, and not to say that these artists are not gonna sing, because we already know how Jill Scott get down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But her thing is more of a calming. It's like you could meditate to this stuff. almost. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I looked at neo soul, and then, and I keep talking about Jill Scott because y'all know I kind of go with her, but
let you tell it.
let me tell it. But even in her music, even in a lot of the neo soul genres music, it started it's like started off as that type of a sound. But do you feel like their stuff kind of moved to like a traditional sounding R&B?
I don't think these artists did per se. I just think that I don't want to say society is not the right word, but maybe the industry pushed them into that and like took their lane away and just like, well, y'all just going to be straight R&B. That's just the way it is. Because I could still listen to a Jill Scott record she just put out a few years ago, and it's still that same feeling to me. It's not just like a straight up R&B to me, I guess, or maybe just because that's how I found her. Like it doesn't. And then I don't know. I just don't think. I think there are still straight R&B artists out right now, but there are. I guess I could say like to me like a Jhené Aiko is kind of would be in the soul lane of today, if that was still a thing, because I just think that they're not using that term anymore. I think it's called what is it called? Alternative R&B or something now. I think that's the name of it. But I can see her.
So even like a Miguel, like a
what else is out right now that's like that?
I get what you're saying. Like,
I don't think
they are very similar. You know, they're just very similar, like to a Jill Scott or like So what about PJ Morton? Is PJ Morton like a neo soul, or is he more? He might be more classic R&B, but he has that. So it's like, God, I can't explain it. It's like that soulful, but it's seems so calm. Like it's so just mellow. His music is so mellow. But he reminds me of Stevie Wonder. So
I think also what kind of made me like where I think like neo soul is different than R&B, because I feel like R&B neo soul is more coming from artists that either wrote poetry or were rappers or did something like that. So it came from that, and you can tell in their songs and the way that their lyrics, the way they were lyricists in a way, just singing. Versus R&B is kind of just a straight, oh baby, I love you, let's do this, let's make love and do all this other stuff. Whereas if you listen to, I keep saying Erykah Badu and Jill Scott just because they're just prominent in my head, but even the music, just the way that their music comes out, the way their lyrics are different, it's just, that kind of separates them too, also for me.
Yeah, I think so too. I just think it's such a vibe. So a lot of people, well, I don't know a lot of people, but if people listen to the show or if they pay attention to me tweeting and how I tweet out my random lyrics and things of that nature, a lot of times it's from that era of like neo soul, when neo soul first kind of got on his feet. Like over the past few days, I've probably listened to One Night by Music. I've literally had it on repeat for hours. It's ridiculous because it just takes you to a place, and that's just music, period. But that's just kind of what I had been vibing on, like this last and to be honest, like I haven't really given like the newer artists. I'm just not even gonna lie, like I really haven't given them a chance. I have listened to, who I can't even think of his name. Daily. The
white guy?
No, maybe not him. It's somebody else. I can't think of what his name is, but somebody put me on to somebody, and I listened to that. I listened to his I want to say CD, so I'm gonna just say CD. His CD all the way through. Right.
You can tell we're old.
I listened to it all the way through, and it was actually a nice vibe. Like, it's something that I would listen to again, but it's just like I listen to some of the stuff and I just be like,
No, yeah, I feel you.
and it don't take much for me to be like, all right, I'm done with this.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, sometimes I'll even try to start, like, the CD in the middle or whatever, because like, what if the first couple of songs I don't like or something? You know what I mean? Like, I'll be trying, but I ain't gonna lie, I don't try that hard. So anyways, I wanted to, like, earlier today, this was like, I was supposed to have been sending this email out like last week. I can put myself on blast, but like an hour before we got on here messing around, and then we literally had like 2 hours of me trying to get this equipment to work right. I asked Jay to come up with, I don't even want to say top 3, but I want to say maybe your favorite 3.
See, now you're changing stuff.
Is it? Well, just leave it at whatever you got. So
I don't know. It was already hard to do.
okay, so neo
I
soul artist is basically neo soul artist is what I'm talking about. Your
Okay.
top 3. So let's start with. Do we want to start with number 3? Let's start with number 3. That's the one I can't figure out. Like,
okay. This was hard because I love so many artists, and we came from the era of the real mixtape, so I just had mixed CDs of all kind of artists. Half of them I didn't even know who they were, but I would just listen to their music. So before streaming, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anybody listening that's young, we had CDs and mixtapes that we would make of just random songs and stuff like that. But so there's so many artists that I really like and so many songs that I like. But if I have to pick, I'm looking at a list of artists right now. All right,
I'm on number 3 right here. This your number 3.
I know. We're gonna do Maxwell.
Okay. So what really grabbed you about Maxwell though? Like, what?
Maxwell is so cool. Like all his songs, like even like
would be cool.
Man, he's just such a cool dude. Like if you watch his Unplugged, MTV Unplugged, like every song, all his like from his first album is just in the pocket. I just love the songs. I don't know. It's just him being so cool.
Do you have, or I know this probably hard to ask you, but do you have a favorite song by him?
Besides that whole first album.
I know. Don't it be like that? Don't it be like that though?
Right. I would say what I listen to the most nowadays is Bad Habit. I love that song. I can listen to that all like over and over. It's like the horns in there and just him and then just the background. I love that song. It's so good.
It is. Like,
okay. Right now.
So my number 3, and guess what? I still don't know either. If I'm keeping it 100,
right.
I'm gonna go with. Oh God! I just thought of another one.
See, it's difficult.
Can I have a tie?
Wait a minute. Nope, you can't have a tie. You pick one. I couldn't have a tie.
Okay, well, can we have an honorable mention then at the end?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so number 3 then. Still, do I want to make him the honorable? Okay, number 3 is going to be Music Soul Child.
Yep.
And I have several songs. Like, I don't even know what made me like revisit his catalog this week, or over the last week, but I did, and I'm like, oh my God, like this dude really had some amazing music. First of all, I loved how creative he was in naming his songs. and then his albums and how like it's not, none of them are like spelled right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like
that's not the way you pronounce them, probably.
right. It's right, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And it's, I thought that was so cool. But like I have he just has so much. I remember when well, I can't remember the name of the song right now. His first single that came,
Best Friends.
Best Friends, his first single, yeah, that came out. So I remember when that came out, and then
Just Friends, Sunny.
Just
That's
Friends.
the name of it.
Yeah, and then Half Crazy. Oh my God, just the video by itself was just, that's when he showed his eye too.
Yeah.
But there's songs like I'm With You, one of my like, oh my God, that's like top 3, one of his for me. And again, One Night, and it's just so many. It's just too many. But that's my number 3. Music Soul Child is my number 3.
That's a good one. That's a good one. He almost made it on my top 3, but yeah.
All right. Number 2.
Man. This is tough, but
I feel like I'm gonna cry when I do mine, like, because I just don't even understand how I'm even making this decision.
It should be obvious.
Yeah,
my number two is going to be, oh my God, it's going to be Erykah Badu.
Okay. What's your favorite Erykah Badu song?
Oh man, okay. My favorite Erykah Badu, probably half the album, is Mama's Gun, which is her second album.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's what's the name of that song? Green Eyes, I think.
Oh yeah, I like Green Eyes
song, but it's like 3 songs in one.
Yeah, I like Green Eyes.
Moon. Like those 2, I know you said favorite, but I have to pick those 2 together.
Wait, you said Green Eyes and what else?
Orange Moon.
Oh, okay.
So good. Like I'm a fiend for like live music and live instruments. So when I hear that in music, just the way it's like, it's just settling to me. I don't know what it is, but
I get it.
A lot of Mama's Gun was just such a chill album to me, like in its entirety. But yeah, those are my 2 of my favorite songs. And Erykah was just so dope for her coming out. She used to be a rapper. She used to be in a rap group. So for her to like come out and just the way she did it, she did kind of a hip hop R&B in a neo soul way, which is crazy.
She came out real different.
Yeah, totally different. And just like her own style. Like I remember when she first came out, her hair was always wrapped and people were like dying to see what her hair looked like. And she finally revealed it in The Other Side of the Game, if they played the whole video. Because, remember they used to play videos and they'll cut it off.
Yeah.
And so at the very end, she would take her head wrap off and you see she had like locks. Or maybe,
I think it was
maybe just twist or something. I don't know. But she had a whole bunch of hair.
Right.
But yeah, so it was just, she's just dope. And then she's just like, she's a rule breaker. She did that video to
The
Window. I think it's Window
Seat.
Where she like walks through Dallas because that's where she lives or that's where she's from. Just naked. Like she shot this video in one take, and it was just kind of like I forgot what they call it.
It was so lit,
like style or whatever. So it was just her and a camera person. She's like walking through the streets live. This is happening. It's not like a set. She starts taking off clothes until she ends up to the last where she's like totally butt naked. She got arrested or she got detained that day because obviously people were calling the cops on her. But it made a statement. I remember at the end of it, she gets shot. Like it doesn't show her getting shot, but you hear gunshots and then it goes on and she's laying down. But like, who thought of that for Window Seat? You know what I'm saying?
Right. For Window Seat.
She's so like, her brain is just so out there. She's such a dope artist and she can sing. And I don't know.
Watching her on Versus was just like, it was like crazy. Something. I mean, I've seen her live. I didn't see her whole show live. She was at one music fest and I caught a piece of it. Yeah. But just seeing her on Versus was just like, It was
so
just
dope.
like, it's like a trance. And I feel like she's one of the artists that has held on to that quote unquote like neo soul.
Yeah.
vibe. You know what I
She
mean?
doesn't
Like,
change, she's herself. That's her, you know?
yeah. So, all right. Well,
I think I know.
I can't even say it. I feel like I'm gonna just say it. So my number 2 is Raheem Devine.
What? I didn't expect that.
I know.
Oh,
You did.
wow.
I know nobody expected that, and I
Oh,
have
wow.
a reason. I have a reason for it. Now, let me say this. Y'all know I am Raheem Devine's number 1 stan. Period. Point blank. Dot. I am it. I am the one. I will go whenever he's in town. I will buy a CD that I don't even have a CD player for, except for in my car, for him to sign it, to support him. I have supported him through his lives and stuff that he's been doing. Like, I have been, I mean, he said he was going to be on the show, but he ain't showed up yet. But I'm trying to hold on to hope. Y'all know how much I love Raheem Devine. What's my favorite Raheem Devine song? Just a whole lot of them, but if I have to pick one, I always pick, and it's one that's not even like public, it never even came out for real for him, is Soulmate. I always mess the story up, so I'm gonna just say that he wrote it for somebody else and it leaked. That's it. He wrote it for somebody in Drew Hill. I just can't ever remember exactly who it was for, or something. Whatever. Anyway, it leaked. I heard it and fell in love with it. Like, said, if I ever get married, that's the song. Like, can we please? If I'm gonna spend some money on a wedding, we was just talking about this last night. If I'm gonna spend some money on any type of thing, like to get married, it's gonna be for Raheem Devine to be at my to come and sing at my wedding. Like, that's what it's gonna be. So I love that song. You're not going to find it on a streaming service. So you have to like get on YouTube or something to find it. But yes, that's my favorite song. Next to like when he sings Believe live. Like, if you can find a version of Believe live. Every time I've seen him 4 times. Every time I see it, every time I see him, I cry, especially on that song. So everybody knows how I feel about Raheem Devine. Raheem, I know you be listening to me sometimes. So I want to tell you that you are number 2. You are number 2 on this list.
But not in your heart.
But there's a reason. There's a reason why. So when I get to my number 1, I'll let you know. So, all right. What's your number 1? Do you listen to a little bit of Raheem Devine, right?
Yeah, I've heard the songs.
Okay.
Like, I'm not a super fan like you, but I've listened to them like in the rotation of the mixtapes and all that stuff. Yeah, I've heard the songs.
Okay.
Which he's a dope artist, so you love a real one. So
he is.
My number 1 is gonna have to be, I can't even hesitate on that, Jill Scott.
Okay.
If we're talking about neo soul, because she, again, coming from a poet, and just the way her lyrics are, the way she came on the scene. She was not like one of these, I don't know, not that any of these artists were, but a lot of these record labels try to push these like video vixen type pretty girls or whatever it is. And Jill just came out as herself. I think she had like some kind of afro when she first came out, and she's full figured. She's beautiful. She can sing. And then her first song was pretty much coming like how she's going to whip somebody's ass for messing with her man. So it was just like very aggressive, but it was a song you can vibe to. And then every song after that, she's just dope. Like her song,
do you have a favorite Jill Scott song?
It's hard. Like, me and Jill have gone through it. Like, when I've been at like my lowest of lows, Jill Scott is one of the artists that I play, and we'll just like sit there and like freaking boohoo because her words like mean so much, or she's like talking exactly like what's going on with me. So it's hard to pick. Man, it's hard to pick one. If I had to pick,
I'll let you think about it for a second.
yeah, let me think. I'm gonna think about it.
Because I'm pretty sure that you figured out that since my number 2 was Rye, that my number 1 was Jill.
Right.
So
Go ahead, yeah.
I am in love with Jill Scott. I think I tweeted out like I'm in love with Jill Scott just as much as I'm in love with Raheem Devon. So let that, ponder on that. And just like you, I loved her for coming out into the industry and just being herself. Right. She didn't give a damn. She came out with this big nappy ass afro. Like you said, she was full figure, big girl with pipes. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Her spirit, every word that she sings, every song that she sings, you literally can feel what she's feeling. And the reason why I picked her as my number 1 is because kind of just like with you, like I've literally been listening to like her albums and be like, are we the same person?
Right.
Like we feel the same way. For instance, like with is it Hear My Call?
Oh girl, don't get me started on that.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
How many times have you talked to God like that? How many times have you talked to yourself like she speaks to herself on Slowly Surely? How many times have you had that conversation with yourself?
Right.
How many times have you had to tell yourself when you wake up, everything gonna be beautiful? How many, and it's like these conversations I feel like she's having with herself, mm-hmm. but she's also having with people, she's having with us. And right. I feel like I relate to so much of her music just as a Black female. Mm-hmm. I've never felt anybody's music the way I feel Jill Scott's music. Like Same. I can't even explain it. It's hard. So you saw me on Twitter when they was doing the verses. Okay. All right. So I acted a fool. I did. I acted a fool because of course, not only, do I stan her and her music, but like I stan her. I risk it all for Jill. Like right. I'm putting it out there. I will risk it all for Jill Scott. I have seen her live and I'm blown away every time she sing that dang on He Loves Me at the end of the set, and she get to doing her opera runoffs and your fave ain't doing this. Not doing it. And she's another one that has also kept that vibe because that's her.
Right.
Can she sing? Absolutely. Yes. And she does every time, but it's just that, very calm. Even when she did, when she talking about whooping the girl ass, she real calm about that shit.
Right.
She walks down the street, I will pull up.
Right.
Basically. She's not yelling. She's not, loud about it. She's just like, hey, listen, sis. You can get these hands today.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Over this dude.
Right.
And then even if it's things that you've never felt, mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know if I can say that I've never felt it. I don't know. But just her how she sings Is It the Way?
That makes me feel like I'm in love and I'm not had that before. Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's can you send me somebody that and He loves me. Can you send me somebody so that I can feel this? I feel it with you singing it, but I want to live it. Like I
Right.
literally feel what you're saying, and it makes you so happy, and you're smiling. You're like, oh my God, like somebody loves me. Somebody, damn it, somebody got
Right.
loving me. Like that's why I had to choose Jill as my number one. Like it's just there's no comparison. Like there's nobody up there with Jill when it comes, especially when it comes to if we're specifically speaking about neo soul artists. Like ain't nobody, y'all not messing with Jill. I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
Nope.
So honorable mention, you got any?
Well, let me tell my favorite Jill Scott song because I figured it out. So I have two because I can't pick one.
Okay.
It's Whatever, because she sings the hell out of that song, and it's Crown Royal.
Oh yeah, I love Crown Royal.
Crown Royal is so good. So good.
Because you nasty.
Because I like that song. And that's all we're gonna worry about. But if anybody want to hit my DM and we can talk about Crown Royal, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
But
and too, dang it. Her and Raheem Devine have a song together. They went on tour together.
I didn't know that. Did I know that?
So, well, it's not really it's a song that he sings like backup vocals on.
Oh, you know what? I don't know that. I know what you're talking about.
Come See Me.
I heard it
on his mixtape. So yeah, so that on the street, I think it's on the street remixes mixtape that he has.
And a 3-way tie. So Crown Royal, Whatever, and You Don't Know.
And not Fool's Gold. What song am I thinking about? I'm thinking about
Back Together.
I done lost my train of thought. It might come to me before we done. But anyways, so yeah, I love Jill Scott. Jill Scott is my number one. I guess we
twinning, just like the
thing on Twitter. So anyways, so yeah, that was cool. That was a cool little conversation. I'm so glad that
what about the honorable mention?
Oh, go. What is it? Mine's? No, yours. Yeah. Oh, because I didn't say.
You didn't say yours. Did you say yours?
Go ahead.
So I'm looking at okay, I'm just gonna my honorable mention will be India.Arie.
Oh, I love India.
Yeah. It was a tie between her and music, but India.Arie.
Okay. I love India, yeah.
And my favorite India.Arie song is what I have tattooed on me, Strength, Courage, and Wisdom. I love that song.
I love India. Where is she? I just saw a video of her on Twitter with Prince at a BET Awards
album last year. Okay. She has a good one of my favorite songs off that album is called Crazy. She just released a video not too long ago, maybe like a few months ago before COVID hit, but she's still
check it out
there. Yep.
So my honorable mention is Life Jennings. And I know a lot of people don't vibe with Life like that. But I do. And it's not just because he's from my hometown, but that is part of it. But I love his voice. I mean, he has a very distinct and different type of a voice. And I've loved almost every project that he's put out. This last one I ain't even fool with it, and I ain't gonna lie. But like Life be talking that talk. And I think people don't be hearing it because I've been hearing it and I love him. So who else? You said no. You said Life is a no for you.
I mean, I like him, but I never was a big fan.
Okay.
Again, he was in the rotation.
And then we have people like, D'Angelo and
I love Vivian Green.
Oh yeah, Vivian Green.
Amel LaRue.
What's the
Lyle?
Guapole.
Well, I was gonna say her, Guapole.
So many good artists.
It is.
So
So that
many.
was such a good, like, man, I miss that. I
Yeah,
miss
I
that
do too.
feeling.
I do too.
So I'll
So
just go back and just listen to them and like tune everything else out
that's
because
it. That's what you gotta do. So, but yeah, so it's been real. I
Mhm.
want you to go ahead and tell us a little bit about your podcast and how we can find you, how anybody can find you if they want to listen to your podcast or if they want to tweet you or IG or whatever.
Okay. So, okay. My podcast is called Jay's Quick Three because I forgot to say that the last time I was on somebody's thing because I was too nervous. But
You doing good today?
well, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Plus, it's you. Me and you, we're pretty cool at this point.
Yeah.
So we're good. But yeah, Jay's Quick Three. It is on all streaming. Well, not all, but most of the streaming service. So Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher. If you go to jaysquick3.buzzsprout.com, that'll have like everything that's on it. So it has links to every streaming platform.
Mm.
You can follow me at if you're watching this is on the bottom of my little thing here, but it's at JBoog for show. So that's JBOOG, the number 4 SHO on Twitter. I don't really do social media. I suck at it. So my apologies. I'm just there. And my show has and that's my personal one. I don't have one for the show on Twitter. It just is what it is. And my show has one on IG, which is Jay's Quick 3, just all together, JS Quick, and then the number 3. So take the apostrophe out, JS Quick 3 on IG. And that's it. I think, I think I'm on YouTube now. I think I did that. So if you want to check that out, I think it's just JBoog. I don't know.
We'll
Go
find
to
out
my,
in the show notes.
I'll put it, yeah, I'll put it somewhere. I don't, I just got on YouTube, so I don't have it on my link tree, but I'll put it on there as well. So,
But tell
yep.
us just a little quickly about what your show is about.
So my show, Jay's Quick 3. So it just is, I pick 3 topics randomly that is just something that I'm interested in talking about. So I just get it from my normal life when I'm like scrolling through Twitter or IG, and it's usually something I'm like, seriously, this is what they're doing.
Right.
Okay. And so normally I would just like think about it in my head or talk about it with my friends. So when I decided to do the podcast, I was like, why not just do that? I wanted to do something that was pretty quick. I try to be as quick as I can. I mean, if I have guests, it's a little bit longer, but I try to keep it between 20 to 40 minutes, depending on what I'm talking about. But I just want to get to the point, just tell you what I think about it. I invite other people to let me know if they agree or disagree. I just want to start a conversation. I try to keep it pretty light, but with everything that's been going on, I definitely talk about things that are affecting me. So I'm not afraid to talk about Black Lives Matter and how it is, living as a Black woman in Trump land, because that's where I am. But I talk about everything. So personal things, personal stories. I could talk about news. I talk about pop culture. Mostly I talk about Chloe and Halle and her because I'm a stan and
big stan.
I'm not ashamed to say it. But I love talking about music, and because I discovered them at a time where I wasn't listening to music, that's mainly why I talk about them so much, because I think it's exciting to me to have found something that makes me excited as I was when I first discovered like TLC or
Yeah.
or Erykah Badu or whatever. So that's why I talk about them so much. Also, because I just feel like they deserve some shine. There's so much going on that, if you're not taking your clothes off or twerking and doing all the other stuff, not that there's anything wrong with it, but you just don't get a lot of that attention.
Right.
And I see so much in like her, the artist, where she's just so mellow. To me, she's like just strictly R&B, and it's so dope. I just like to talk about them. So every night.
Y'all see that? Go ahead. You can still talk. Finish it.
But yeah, so I just talk about that. I pick 3 topics, I count it down, and then that's it. So that's it in a nutshell for my show.
Almost made it.
Almost.
Okay, good. So and I plan to have you back a few times because this not even an actual topic that I said I wanted to talk to you about in the first place. When we first said that I wanted you to come on the show. So we have some catching up to do. So I'm thinking you'll probably be back again in season 3, you know, before season 3 is over. But I just want to
hold on before you end it.
Mm.
I have something I do want to say. I meant to say this in the beginning when you invited me on, but I am so honored to be on this show because this literally is like one of my favorite, like I'm not even lying just because we're cool, like one of my favorite podcasts, at least like my top 4.
Don't be having me out here blushing like this real close on this other camera.
But no, seriously. So I feel like my little podcast that's what I call it. For me to be invited to come on your show, that's something that I listen to. Like I look forward to listening to your show and seeing what guests you're going to have on and what topics you guys are going to talk about, or even if it's just you by yourself, just like listening to your story. Like you are so inspirational. You've been so like supportive of me, like since we like met and gotten cool. Like you've shown me a lot of things and you're not afraid to like share your tips and tricks, which I think is super dope because there's a lot of people that's like, I'm not going to tell you what I know because then what happens if you do better than me or something like that. And you never had that attitude. And I hear you're doing that for other people. So that just means you're like a genuine person. So I really appreciate you. And I'm just happy that I'm here. Like mama, I made it.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And I felt the same way when I was on your show too. Cause when I first found your show, I literally listened to probably like 4 or 5 episodes just back to back to back. Like I felt like it's very well put together. And I love how you just get straight to the point. Like I try to keep my episodes, I try to keep them an hour, but like you said, when you have guests or whatever, it goes over or whatever, what have you. But I think you do like as a solo podcaster, I think you do so well and you stay on track. It's just like amazing to because you know, like me, I have scatterbrain. I'd be like, how is she like really staying on track? Like I just don't do it. But anyway, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the kind words. And I look forward to having you back again. You got any last words?
I don't have any last words. Y'all stay safe out there, man. It's crazy.
Hey, put a fucking mask on. My
please
last words.
Do that.
Please wear a mask. And please, if your state hasn't gone to vote, please go vote.
Yes.
And that's it. All right. And so that's it for the Lit Life podcast. I look forward to listening. I look forward to you hearing me again. All right, then. Peace.
Peace, y'all.